Artificial intelligence, iRobot, Terminator, and Atlas are just a handful of movies that deal with the concept of AI as it pertains to transhumanism. For all of you who don't know, transhumanism is a rather old term, but a new concept for most. In short, it has to do with the merging of man with technology. This is real and is happening now, although most are not aware of it. When we think of AI, cloning, or biometrics, we typically do not think that those are associated with the trans movement. Why would we? Firstly, there are no negative connotations that are present in the media, and after all, the media is where we get our information, and it is how we actually formulate our judgments. Therefore, until the media makes transhumanism authentic news, nobody will take it seriously. Why should we take it seriously? Well, listen to what I have to say about it. I'm making it news right here and now, and this is why. And I want to come full circle. Let's discuss those movies I just mentioned. All of them deal with humans or machines engaging, or shall I say engaging, in some kind of loving relationship with one another. Now, when I think about relationships, I'm immediately attentive to the fact that in order for it to materialize, there must be feeling and thought. Everything in my consciousness tells me that in order to have a relationship, a living entity must be present. In other words, there must be life in its essence. Now, there are several questions that I want to raise, and the first and most obvious is it at all possible for a human to engage in a relationship with a machine? A machine is something that has no ability to think or feel. And also, does a machine have the capacity to love? Now think about what I just asked, because I am going to drop a bomb on you. I want to make a bold assertion. I assert that very shortly the media will outright tell us that AI is in fact alive. Now, how can I boldly make this claim? Very simple. It's because they've already said it. It's being said inadvertently through the movies. And not only this, Mark Zuckerberg has formally introduced us to the world within a world, the metaverse. In addition, Apple has unveiled the Vision Pro. We are all aware that preceding these current advancements, lifelike video games allowed for the convergence of your mind with technology. I mean, video games have been constantly simulating a world within a world. What I want to make very clear is that transhumanism is here, but it is not named as such. The reason that it is worth talking about is because it involves mind control, and this is a dark topic that is definitely worth discussing. I have on many occasions spoken on behalf of and in favor of AI. I have done this openly, and I will continue to do it. But what I will not do is advocate for devices that impede on the natural ability of the human being to determine reality from fantasy. Friends, to be lost in fantasy is to be psychologically deranged, and this kind of derangement is not a temporary escape. It is an attempt to destroy the human spirit, which is the essence of who we all are. The spirit is something that I have studied for years, and it is in fact the center of all life, and to eradicate it would mean that we would call a human, well, could we even call a human a human? Because without the spirit, one would be void, lacking in thought and feeling. Who is a person void of sentience? I have asked myself, are those that have acted on creating this kind of technology evil? Do they even know what they're doing? Well, those who are against AI all seem to believe that pundits like Elon Musk, I should say, and Zuckerberg, just to name a few, know exactly what they're doing, and they have an ultimate goal, and that goal is to rule the world. Now, this, I believe, is far-fetched, because I do not think that it is the plan of those men to want to keep humanity in darkness. I do not believe that anyone knows that their actions are actually evil. Because the truth about evil is that it is a derangement. It is a descent into madness. When people are in that state, they have no awareness of it. They actually believe that they are doing good, and what they are doing is beneficial. Friends, the scientist who created Frankenstein, that's right, in the book, thought that he was doing something good. You must understand that what we deem evil is always considered by the doer an act of goodness. We must be aware of the fact that we as men tend to reject ourselves as who we are and instead desire to recreate ourselves into something better and void of error. That is the sole motivation behind being a do-gooder. But please understand that this form of correction is only external. It fails to address the character of mankind. You see, that is where the error actually is. It is of our character. With that said, the betterment of man and his society must come from the improvement upon his character. But instead of working on his inner self, we as men fall victim to our own arrogance. And it tells us that if we improve the tangibles and the external, all will be well. But this is not so. Man, as we have seen, has gone from the manual bike to the motorbike. Long gone are the horse and buggy. We're driving cars, and pretty soon we'll probably be flying cars. We have created devices that speak to us and record our thoughts. And this is indeed the definition of technological advancement. Don't get me wrong, we all can appreciate these improvements. But at what cost? I'll tell you the cost. It is our soul. It is our being. It is the life of us. The more advanced we have become, the more technology we produce, the smaller we become inside. We become more afraid, more anxious, more obsessive compulsive. Friends, we are the sickest we have ever been. Since since the days of our ancestors, there have been plagues and they have died. They didn't have the advancements that we have today. They didn't have the medicine that we have today. We do have psychological ailments that they knew nothing about. Unfortunately, we don't have the cure for those ailments. And these ailments are not easily remedied. What our ancestors did have was an understanding of what it really means to live to the fullest. To them, it wasn't about fame, fortune. They adhered to their morals and values. But today, the lust for materialism and status supersedes all else. We idolize pop culture and wealth. Yet, of course, the rich and famous are the most diminished people. Most of us don't see that. Yes, they are the most diminished on the planet, yet we still adore them. We idolize them because they make us forget about our own imperfections. They are icons that represent human perfection. Friends, our technological advancements have done nothing for our starved spirit, and that is the reason why mental illnesses are rampant. But no doctor will tell you this. No scientist has yet discovered this. It is I, the mere philosopher, who has discovered this. You see, we philosophers have always made discoveries that the non-thinkers could not. That is why we are here. That is why you are listening to this video, or in some cases you might be listening to a podcast. If you like this content and you want more, please subscribe. This is a movement, and we are just getting started. Until next time.